Well, sorry for disappearing. This probably won't even be a very interesting video anyway, so just prepare for some rambling. I just felt like instead of like vanishing from YouTube, I should at least explain why I haven't uploaded as much. Okay, so you see, I'm a very obsessive person. I get hooked on things very quickly, and that's especially with any kind of hobby or interest. I could never just like anything casually. I have to just go all in like some crazy maniac. It just consumes my mind. It's both good and bad. I can progress with things really quickly, especially in the beginning. And when I'm in this fixated state, it's pretty euphoric almost. It does bring me a lot of joy. Being this way could also be quite detrimental for obvious reasons, though I've never experienced anything bad from that. So, although something that happens to me a lot is I will go all in with something so intensely that I end up burning out from it really quickly. And I've had so many different hobbies and obsessions I pick up and just make my entire personality for a good while, and then I just drop them completely and never go back. And this burnout definitely applies with guitar. Though one thing I have found is that it's kind of impossible to entirely get tired of and just give up playing in music as a whole, because there's kind of just endless possibilities of what you can listen to and play. But you see, I obsess over bands too, and this is probably pretty obvious to all of you. And I love predictability, so most of the time I will listen to the same 8 songs every day until I get so sick of them, but I have no choice but to listen to another one of my I don't know how to say safe bands? Basically, there's a select few that I just love so much that I will fall back on whenever I don't want to or have any new bands to listen to. But if I keep going in this cycle without finding a new band obsession, I start getting uninspired and kind of burn out. It's this in-between period where I'm just waiting for the right band to cross my path, because 99.7% of the time I don't consciously go out and seek new music I'm gonna go look for new bands. No, they just kind of find me one way or another. The even more frustrating thing is, the deeper I get into this doo-doo of my brain's creation, the less I want to listen to new music. Because, again, I hate change. I wear the same clothes every day. I have multiple pairs of the same pants and shirts. I eat the same foods every day at the same times. I go for a walk every day at the same time. I go to sleep at the same time. Even my cat has picked up a routine with me and comes to sit in my lap with me at the same time every night. So naturally, like I said, I also listen to the same songs over and over. And most of the time, it's quite jarring to listen to any new band, and I almost always, with a few exceptions I will say, but I almost always dislike a band the first few listens purely because it's not the same songs I've had on rotation. And no new songs also means no new songs I'm learning on guitar either. Though I still play the ones I already know, and I sometimes revisit ones that I kind of forgot. But obviously sometimes this does get a little boring. And I also obviously don't want to post videos playing the songs I've already done before, you know. So that's the burnout part. But what about the uninspired part? For the past few months, I have kind of hit some sort of creative block, and I just can't seem to come up with any riffs I like or lyrics either. And it just keeps bothering me more and more. I want to write stuff, but my brain's just no. But most of this is because of my crippling perfectionism. Woo. You know, it's funny because I was talking with my mom one day, and she was like, I remember the first time I realized that you were like that. And I was 5, and my mom had told me to make a card for my uncle who was in the hospital at the time. So, you know, me being someone who loves drawing, of course I was like, heck yeah, I will. But for whatever reason, I couldn't get my drawing right, and I literally just kept crumpling up and throwing away each piece of paper over and over and restarting. My mom said I was literally crying. I was so mad. I surprisingly don't remember this, and I remember everything. I remember stuff from when I was barely even 2 years old. But anyways, so yeah, I've been like this all along. And I'm also kind of stuck in my head a lot. Which getting in that kind of thought loop of trying to make something exactly to my unreachable expectations doesn't help either. Like, I know I just need to like move on past it and keep going anyway, but it's really difficult. Cause like, if I actually do come up with a riff, my mind will be like, no, it's not catchy enough, or no, it's just ripping off this band, or no, it's too generic, or just simply isn't what I had like envisioned in my head. Do I put too many expectations on myself? Yeah. And don't even get me started with lyrics. It's either like, no, these are too cheesy, or no, they don't have enough meaning, or no, they're too on the nose and literal, or no, they sound too much like this person's lyrics, and it all sounds kind of crazy like saying it out loud, but yeah, I think a lot. Like, I have to purposefully distract myself from my own thoughts or I will get lost in them. Like, it's not all bad either. Like, sometimes it's pretty entertaining up there. Like, I'm having full on like movies play out in my head, you know. I can listen to music in my head like without actually listening to music. Like, if it's a song I know really well, like I've memorized everything. And sometimes like when I'm listening to a song, like if there's a music video, I'll just like watch the music video in my head. If there's not a music video, sometimes my mind will just like come up with one on my own while the song is playing, just like keep coming up with stuff. Like, it's pretty fun. But another thing I think that has been especially plaguing this all lately is that I like so many different styles of music that I come up with many different ideas that are like a variety of genres, I guess. And for some reason, I feel like I must choose one. It's so dumb. Like, I'm not a professional about to put out an album. I'm not even in a band where it would make sense to have songs that have the same vibe. Like, it's a lost cause, I swear. I could go on and on about all of the rules my mind comes up with for writing songs. It really sucks because I am and always have been a very creative person, but I can't execute all of my ideas because of this. And it's also just gotten worse as I've gotten older. I guess I just keep holding my abilities to like higher and higher standards. And like, it's also so weird because I'm a person who doesn't really care much. Like, I'm pretty chill and indifferent, yet I have a dang heart attack when a tiny corner is bent on the cover of one of my records. True story. True story. I'm sorry, Mom. I think the more important it is to me, then the more perfectionistic I am with it. Anyways, tangent, sorry, but not coming up with my own stuff has left me kind of uninspired with guitar as a whole. Of course, I still play at least once a day. I mean, there hasn't really been a time where I don't touch it at all, except for like being on vacation and stuff. So no, I'm not, and I'm never going to quit. I've had similar things happen periodically, and then after a bit, something ignites the spark again, and the cycle repeats. But this has just been the longest I feel like I've gone in this state. Being preoccupied with other stuff in life too, of course, doesn't help. But the thing is, I don't want to force myself to play. If doing something I love starts to feel like a chore, I almost get like overwhelmed just by the thought of it, and that kind of ruins it for me. Like, for example, I used to love drawing and writing when I was little. Like, I would literally write out and illustrate my own like books and like staple all the pieces of paper together so you could actually flip through it. And they were long too, like full-fledged novels. But after, you know, a while of having to like write stuff for school and everything, that almost kind of ruined it in a way. Which, what doesn't school ruin? But I would also kind of get like embarrassed of whatever I would write and be self-conscious of the teacher reading. In drawing, I again just had expectations I couldn't meet because I was a little kid. And it just started to frustrate me so bad that I just kind of quit. So I don't want to do the same to guitar. I play when I want to, what I want to. I never ever practice per se, because once my mind hears the word practiced, I hate everything about guitar. So when stuff like this happens, all I really know to do is just kind of write it out. There's never a day I don't like music, but I just take a little step back. And I've been doing that clearly, but like I said, it's, you know, been a good while and I feel like it's getting worse. So maybe I do actually need to make a little more effort to get past it. So I'm asking you guys, Since a lot of my subscribers are definitely more established musicians and not a loser like me who pretends like I know what I'm doing, if you've gone through similar things, what's the best thing you found to do to regain the spark? Now, I know a lot of it is really just me doing this to myself, but I do struggle a lot to get past it, and I'm not really even sure the best way to. And that might just be something I will eventually figure out on my own, because, you know, whatever works for somebody is not necessarily what will work for somebody else. So, you know. But I'm about to hit 3 years of playing in March, and I think that's also just making me feel kind of bad, honestly. Like, I'm still really not that good after 3 years, which, it's, why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself? This is probably gonna be like 5 hours long, so I'll shut up now, but really do give me your feedback. I would appreciate it. I can't say that I'll actually follow through with it because I don't do well when it comes to people telling me to do something. It's like, I've seen memes about this. It's like when, you know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go clean my room, and then your mom's like, hey, you need to go clean your room, and it's like, can't do it now. I was gonna do it, but now I've got the pressure from you. I don't know, but so yeah. And also, if you have any video ideas you want me to do, that would be great, honestly, because I'm kind of stuck with that as well. But yeah, if you made it this far in the video, I commend you. I hope I'm actually making sense and not just humiliating myself here. And I hope I don't sound insane with all the random things my mind comes up with. But yeah, this is kind of where I am now. Like I said, I still play and listen to music every day, and I still love it with my entire being. It's, you know, it's what I live for, basically. And I'm not quitting YouTube or anything like that. If you guys want me to post more random rambly videos like this, I get a ton of random thoughts I want to share, and I even like write them down sometimes because, like, you know, I need to get them out of here somehow. So if you guys even care for that, like, let me know, because, like, but yeah, I've just had this kind of, like, feeling looming over lately when it comes with music, and it's just, like,